Good afternoon. As anyone who has ever visited the Library of Congress knows, it's always a privilege just to be here in this building. I always feel at least 10% smarter being here. You know, Winston Churchill used to say that we shape our buildings and then our buildings shape us, and it's truly the case here at the Library of Congress. So the privilege of being here in this building is multiplied for me now by the esteemed audience of scholars, of statesmen, and friends who are gathered here today for this important speech. Now, I don't know if there has ever been a greater aggregation of conservative knowledge, conservative thoughtfulness, and thought leadership in the Library of Congress, at least not since Yuval Levin read here all alone. But of course, the honor is further compounded by the opportunity that brings me here today to introduce my good friend Paul Ryan. It's a reflection of Paul's daring, innovative spirit that in his first major address as Speaker of the House, he's violating the first rule, the number one rule in American politics: never, ever give a United States Senator an opportunity, an invitation to give brief remarks. But as Speaker Ryan's own election showed, among other surprises this year, the old rules in Washington and in the Republican Party are changing. Paul Ryan has been part of that change ever since he first arrived in Congress. And he has been at its forefront since, as ranking member on the House Budget Committee, he began pulling an initially reluctant GOP back into the often neglected business of principled policy innovation and reform. He's part of and now has the opportunity to lead in the House a revived conservatism of policy entrepreneurship, one committed to thoughtful reform of both federal policy and the way we make it. This new conservative project follows the example of our founding generation. The original Tea Party, I'm talking here about the Tea Party that took place in Boston in 1773, was a righteous protest against the kind of government that we as Americans did not want. But that event would now long have been forgotten in history if that generation had not made the journey from Boston to Philadelphia 14 years later to create the kind of government that we as Americans did want and still want today. To follow in the founders' footsteps, conservatives today must first resolve, starting right now, to apply our permanent principles to today's challenges, restoring upward mobility, equal opportunity, and community solidarity to every sector of our economy and to every neighborhood in our society. As in any diverse coalition, good faith disagreements on the right and within the right are inevitable, and they're welcomed. And it's the job of leaders on all sides of these debates to ensure that our differences of opinion are sources of strength, not division. They're sources that can strengthen us rather than weaken us. That is a job Paul Ryan is uniquely capable of doing. Because at his core, he understands that for this new conservative generation to succeed, ideas must drive our politics, not the other way around. I'm thrilled that Speaker Ryan has come to the Library of Congress today to lay out the challenges and solutions, the ideas, the same kinds of ideas that initially motivated our founding generation to move from their Boston moment to their Philadelphia moment, and that will guide his work in the coming year as Speaker of the House. I'm confident that, inspired by the Declaration of 1776, by the Constitution of 1787, and informed, we all hope, by the wisdom of the ages, housed right here in this treasury of human knowledge, those conservative ideas will lead our nation to a restoration of freedom, of opportunity, and of solidarity in America, and a rebirth of the grand old party that serves them all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my high honor and privilege to introduce to you the 54th Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, my friend, Paul Ryan.